Hello everyone, we're back with my angry rant about why ethics as a discipline sucks. Because it just seems impossible to think that there can be a single system of ethics with all its rules that can apply uniformly across the variety of human life, right? There's so many different things going on. With utilitarians, you always have these thought experiments where there's a car that has just gone into the river and it's flooding and there's two passengers, and one of them is your wife or a child and the other one is this doctor who has the cure for lung cancer. Who do you save? It basically creates these situations that are moral dilemmas where you have to pick one person versus the other. The implication being that under strict utilitarianism, you should actually save the doctor because he's the guy who's going to save so many more lives. So in terms of utility, you've maximized happiness and well-being across the world. Yet, I think we'd all agree that if you save the doctor instead of your wife or your husband, you'd be a psychopath, right? You'd be a bit of a monster. Now, I'll just add, I don't even think that this is a moral problem. Choosing between my wife and an important doctor, I see it as a preference, what I want to do. I don't think it's an issue of morality. The fundamental issue with utilitarianism, or one of them at least, is that it reduces everything to a numbers game. You have to sit there and calculate who to save. Shall I save one person or shall I save 5? But I find this monstrous. You can't reduce people to mathematics. That's the kind of stuff Stalin said. You know, he had his famous line, one death is a tragedy, a million deaths is a statistic. You can see why economists love utilitarianism. They even use the language of utilitarianism, you know, utility function. It's all about maximization of that utility function. But the biggest issue with utilitarianism is how far should the moral circle extend? If the ultimate aim of utilitarianism is to increase or maximize happiness, what does that mean? Are we maximizing total happiness? Are we maximizing average happiness? Of whom? Who's within that moral circle? Should we act so as to maximize the happiness within our circle of family and friends? Or should it be beyond that? And clearly, many forms of utilitarianism think it should be beyond, because otherwise we wouldn't even have a question about saving the doctor. The implication with saving the doctor is that you're going to save thousands and millions of lives that are beyond the people you are in contact with in your life. The question in utilitarianism is, how broad should our moral circle be? Whose happiness should I feel morally responsible for? If you take the line that many strict utilitarians take, like Peter Singer, who thinks that the moral circle should be extended to include all of humanity, including animals, that means basically every action you do should be weighed against how much it will increase the total of happiness in the world. We're literally talking about situations like, should I have this cappuccino or should I give the money to charity? Do you think that's a good way to live? Peter Singer would tell you that if there's a burning building and in one room there's 10 dying children and in the other room there's a Picasso worth $100 million, you should save the Picasso so you can sell it and then use the proceeds to save many, many more lives than the 10 children who you left to burn. Forgetting utilitarianism because it's so easy to knock it down, the problem with moral systems generally is that they present so many contradictions and exceptions, and if you apply those systems consistently, you're bound to run into paradoxes. I would say that having a moral system, any moral system, is just a decent substitute for actually having a moral compass. Yeah, you can quote me on that one.